I've been working on this display cake, and I thought it was kind of fun, so I decided to show you this for my tutorial of the day. First, this is covered with fondant, and I'm still in the process of working on it, so it's not done. But what I've done here is kind of a combination of applique and piping, and I was going to do a brush embroidery, but it's turning out that it works out better with a piping bag and a little thinned out royal icing and just outlining it. So I really like the way this looks, and it's very simple to do. So first, I got these flowers that I printed out on wafer paper, and you can buy these in my Etsy shop. And I've taken them and glued them onto the fondant with corn syrup, which is very simple to do. Just cut them out, glue them on. And after that dried, this is, I don't even know what consistency this is. This is very, very runny royal icing. It's kind of drippy, but it's solid enough that it's going to keep its shape. So you're just going to have to experiment with what works, because if it gets too thin, it's going to be very translucent, and you won't be able to get the opaque white that you need to outline the shapes. So, I put this in a piping bag with the number 1 tip. You can use a smaller tip if you want. That's the smallest one that I had that I could find easily. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm barely even squeezing this because the icing is runny enough that it's coming out all on its own. And I'm just going to very quickly outline the shapes of some of the petals. Obviously I can't do every single one because there are a lot of petals. These are chrysanthemums, so I think it was a dahlia. I'd taken a picture of a dahlia. And there are a lot of petals on a dahlia. And when you put it onto the cake with the blue icing, the blue fondant, makes it hard to see every single petal. So just kind of wing it. Outline where you can outline. As I'm piping up like this, I am squeezing it a little bit, obviously, because gravity is keeping it from leaving the tip. But if I'm going to go like here, you just have to squeeze it a tiny bit and it'll come out. Like I said, I was using a paintbrush for this. You could do that, but it just didn't look as defined as I wanted it to. So I switched to a bag and it seemed to work a lot better. So I've just done the whole cake like that. I did add a couple of little leaves, like right here. I don't know if I like that. I might go ahead and add some more. This is just a display cake, like I said, so I'm just kind of experimenting with it. But I'll do this little one. It's a real cute little technique, I think. Gives a little graphic interest. And I have another pattern I'm going to think about doing, kind of using the same idea. This is basically what I guess you could call it, it's some kind of like a paint by numbers kind of thing, because you have the color, you have the shape, and you're not really having to freehand anything. But it just makes it easy to do when you don't have to worry about drawing it on yourself if you're not comfortable with that. And it makes it interesting because you can see the color through it, and it's not like three-dimensional except for the outlines. And something like this, the graphic on the cake surface is really enough. I was thinking about doing some flowers to put on here, but I think that would be too much because it's kind of a pop arty kind of thing, just on its own. I don't need to put flowers on it. So that's it. This is a very quick little technique, and you can use this with any edible wafer image. Just put it right on the cake and then paint right over it. You could do this with gum paste too. If you had some flat gum paste flowers, just put them on, and I've seen people do that to give the edges of the flowers a little more dimension. But this is interesting because the color on here is what you see as it comes through. So it's just kind of cute. And if you have any questions, post them, and I'll answer them as soon as I can.